it's not you, then who?
Why are you doing this?
This is not about God.
If it's not now, then when?
Sky, Ken, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you both. What an incredible film. Last Days was just moving. It was inspirational. It was tragic. It was beautifully photographed. It's one of my favorite films of the year. So I just wanted to tell you both congratulations. What a great job you did.
Thank you.
And get this right up front. I knew of his story, but I didn't know all the details. But when the movie started, my dad was one of the founders of Oral Roberts University.
Wow.
Right. If you go to the campus, you'll find Howard Auditorium there. Yeah, that's my father and my grandfather. Yeah. So my dad was one of the founders. My big brother was on the Board of Regents. All of his children went there. But I'm the only one in the family, kind of the black sheep. I went to UNLV. I went to film school. So I didn't go to ORU.
Oh, wow.
So there's a long legacy of my family in Oral Roberts University. So I had no idea when I saw that in the film. That just kind of everything came full circle with that moment. So
Yeah. So even though you didn't go, it found you.
it did. Yes, it did. So, well, Sky, tell us about John and his mission and his faith. His faith seems to guide all of his decisions.
I think that there's many things, and I want to allow the audience as well to take what they want from it. But for me, it was John has all these North Stars, and it was just important. I mean, in regards to the faith, to really, I don't think there's any point where we doubt his sincerity. And I think it had to be honored. And it's funny you talk about ORU. I ended up going to ORU and meeting some of the students there, and seeing their faith and what that looked like. Yeah, it's a hard thing to pin down necessarily into words.
Well, we don't deny his motives, but his motives are genuine. But I think he's got to be very naive about what he's approaching to do.
Well, what was fascinating in looking into it is that he was just unbelievably prepared and had researched it, had looked into anthropologists and records. He himself, it's funny, I went out to shoot parts of it with a DOP friend of mine, a very close friend, who also ended up doing second unit shooting out in Thailand. But we went to Iceland, and I was sort of doing, so to speak, some of the things that John might be doing in regards to, putting up tents and all of this stuff, which all of it, and like using crampons, and I was suddenly realizing just how capable this person was, medically trained. I think I must say, I think, at least in my interpretation, was that he was very aware of what he was walking into. But how much can you prepare for a situation like that, I guess, is the real
Absolutely.
question.
And Ken, John's relationship with his father, Patrick's losing his son to the church. So his tough love at first didn't work, did it? He changed his mind.
Yeah, I mean, he's also in a transitional place. He's got run-ins, getting in trouble for prescribing medications and stuff. So he's in a little kind of his own lost place. And the timing of the circumstances are such that tragically their paths are diverging. Each of their efforts to find some stability in their own lives are going this way. And that's the tragedy of this moment of their relationship, not their relationship in general, but this moment. Yeah.
It's tragic too. It's another tragedy in his life. I thought that, his relationship with his father. But Sky, I was talking to Justin and I was asking him about a responsibility about playing a real life person. And he said, look, this isn't about the facts. This is about his humanity. And I think that's what comes out in this movie more than anything else.
I mean, I absolutely agree. I hope that there's that even though it's uh we aren't being accurate, so to speak, with the story, but we are still being true with it in that there's truth in you can be accurate about like the circumference of a tree, for example, but there's truth in saying that that was where I buried the person, or I hope that we're true to what his journey was, and to also what Justin's fictionalization of this is.
I don't know if you, sorry, I don't know if you remember this, Sky, but Sky and I had a conversation on set one day during our downtime. And we were talking about how fluid people are. Sometimes this, even things like their apparent ethnic makeup is such a fluid thing. And we were talking about how fiction can sometimes reflect a truth, like a children's drawing. The way a children's drawing can reflect a truth better than an anatomically correct drawing.
Yeah.
And I think this film is an example of that, or it's using that sort of lens to tell a truth versus, whatever the truth even means.
Well, like you leave it, like you say, like Sky said, you leave it open in interpretation.
Right.
Gentlemen, we could talk all day about this and do a master TED talk on it. They're wrapping me up right now. So congratulations on an incredible film. And remember, first one to heaven wins.
Thank you, Jeff.
Take care, everybody.